I just wanted to follow on from one of my previous episodes where I was talking about a question which relates to your options. And I said a question to consider is, what are my options? And at the time when I was feeling at probably my most isolated and was at my most uncertain about what to do next, I, as part of my reflection, as part of my self-assessment, really needed to really understand what my options were at that particular time. And when I coach my various clients right now, they often come to me not understanding what their options are, and perhaps even sometimes underestimating the options that they have available to them. What many of my clients tend to do, especially when we're talking about career development and job search, is really focus on the most obvious options and not necessarily think about things that are linked to or related to what they do, or things that perhaps even build on what they've done and what they do. Often what they tend to do is, for example, if they've worked in, I don't know, in a marketing role, for example. I keep using marketing because it has so many facets to it. But if they've worked in a marketing role, they perhaps think about doing a role which is just related to, for example, generalist marketing, when really and truly marketing has, like I said, so many different facets to it that they could focus on a specific area of marketing like social, or focus on paid marketing or organic marketing. So that immediately opens up options to them, and it's all about creating as many options as you possibly can that relate to the skills that you have. In my example, or at least in my various sort of periods of job search, when I was looking for my options, I would often sit down with my resume and have a look at the roles that I'd done in the past, and really begin to understand which skills, which functional roles, especially skills, really lit me up, I suppose you could say, really got me going and really got me interested and really inspired me and made me really feel good about work, and skills as well that I was confident in at that particular point. So, for example, I would look at my resume and look at all the skills that like I said, really fired me up. I'd create a list of, say, 2 or 3 different types of jobs that I really liked and that were related to those particular skills. And that would form the foundation for my job search. That would form the foundation of my pursuit of a new role. So, just to give you a real example, when I was looking at the particular time, I'd identified 3 roles. So I had identified SEO, which is search engine optimization, which I'd made the career change into. I'd also look at recruitment, for example, recruitment consultant, whether that be as part of a agency or an in-house recruitment role. So that was 2 in 1 effectively. Also, I'd look at roles in coaching. So interview coaching was one of the things that I had a huge focus on years ago. In fact, to this day, I still do lots of interview coaching, but it's something that I've got real skills that are valuable to clients, to my former clients as well. So I would then have a list of, say, 3 or 4 jobs, so recruitment, coaching, and marketing, SEO. And what I would then do with those options, those 3 options, I would focus on in fact, I'd go a little bit further. I would look for companies that's hired the kind of people or the kind of roles that I'd identified. Obviously working ideally in niches that I wanted to work in, travel and tourism, ed tech, med tech, fintech, whatever it may be, working in different industries, different sectors, And then I would target each one of those sectors and look for roles in coaching, in recruitment, in marketing, in each one of those sectors. And so you can see if you've got 3 different options for types of roles, then you've got 3 or 4 different sectors that you're targeting that you ideally will have some experience of, then you could see that the options are really, really broad and there's lots of options available. And that's what I found when I was doing my job search, is that I had so many options available to me. And that really gave me a sense of confidence, again, that I had some value and that my skills were necessary and required and in demand. So you really got to think about your options before you jump in to your job search. And if you're doing what I'm suggesting and you're searching for 3 roles within 3 or 4 different industries simultaneously, you begin eventually to get some feedback. You begin to get some data in terms of what's working and what's not. And then you can either adjust your strategy or adjust your role that you're looking at, or you can double down on a certain role or a certain industry that you feel is really providing you with good feedback, i.e. interviews or meetings, etc., whatever it may be. So this is how to really begin to reveal the options that are available to you for your career. And I can tell you now, once you start to identify those things, your confidence will begin to really grow, and you'll begin to understand not just your value, but you'll understand what you need to do, what your reality is, what you need to do in order to move from where you are now to where you want to be. So yeah, ask yourself that question. What roles do I want to target in my job search?